Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Noah. Noah is from California, but he lives in Portland in the USA. So let's see what Noah has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, how are you?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm very well, Noah. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
It's sunny out for a change. We've been having this bipolar weather here in Portland and stuff. We get sun for like one day and the next day it's just rain.
I live in London, so I know what the rain means. Right. I like your background. So you are in your garden. Is your garden?
Oh, yeah. So I have a little cajon right here that I drum on and stuff. And so for the pandemic, for months now, I've just been drumming and drawing. That's been my view right there. There's a little creek right down by the trees and stuff. So.
Wow, we are so lucky to have that in the backyard. My God, it's amazing.
Yeah, every now and then we have some deers that come out and just like, yeah, it's nice.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, Noah, just before we start the game, just tell me where you're from.
Where I'm from? So I'm originally from California and stuff. I spent a lot of time in the East Bay. I was born in Central California, agriculture area and stuff. And then my early teens, I got away and spent most of my time in San Francisco.
Ah, okay. So you are based now in San Francisco?
I'm now based in Portland. I've been here for about 7 years now.
Portland.
So,
and
not too far.
And what's the biggest difference between Portland and San Francisco?
What's the difference?
The biggest difference?
The biggest difference is, well, it rains a lot here. It's a rainforest. And I don't know. There's not a lot of difference, really. They're both unique cities. They're both kind of melting pots culturally and stuff. I've really liked Portland for some aspects.
Very good. And what do you do for a living?
So right now, I just bought my own business. I bought the name and rights of my comic book, and so I've been working on that. I just got it registered with the state of Oregon, and so I work a lot on that and everything. It's called Critter World. It's a loose parallel of my life and beyond. It's based on this fox named Cain, and yeah.
So you've been working on a comic book.
Yeah, I do.
It's ready now, the book, or not yet? It's out.
I just published my first my prologue in December, and I've been working on getting the next chapter out.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And just before we start the game, just tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting about myself? I'm just a big dork. ADHD. I'm losing things all the time. I'm losing my wallet and stuff. You see Flash on the comic books, I'm pretty much Flash. I'm just zooming all the time. So,
that's funny.
Sometimes hard to keep up with.
Okay, Noah, so welcome to William and the Magic Box. So, my best friend here, full of random fun questions, okay? So, I'm just gonna play some music now just for us to get a bit in the mood before the first question. Ready?
Okay, ready.
Let's do it. Hope you like it. Okay, Noah, ready for the first question?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Right, so the first question is a tough one. If your plane was going down, and you could call just one person, who that would be?
Oh no, don't say that. I'm going on a trip tomorrow. Okay, go ahead. I mean, I could probably think of a friend or something, let them know for sure. But during that time, I would probably be more concerned with wanting to calm down and be supportive of my other passengers on the plane, because I am a service boy by heart, and it brings me great joy to just be there for others and stuff. So I usually like to put others ahead of myself, and so I probably wouldn't be thinking about that. I'd probably just want to be of assistance to others on the plane.
Very good answer. Let's go for the second question. Let's do it. Okay, Noah, just before the next question, tell me a little bit about your tattoos, your beautiful tattoos. Tell me a little bit about it.
So tell you about my tattoos?
Yes.
Well, I got a lot. So I've always resonated with comics since an early age. They were my escape from just tough times and stuff. Especially Batman and Robin. I've always wished Bruce Wayne and Batman would just come and train me, take me away from some tough times and everything. So these were some of my first tattoos. Batman and Robin, had to get them next to each other. But most of the other ones are all comic books too, and everything. This was my high school mascot right here, and then I have an angry pirate unicorn on the back of my head right here. And yeah, I mean, color is something very, very special to me, especially since I'm working on comic books. And I just like being bright. I like being vivid. I like just standing out, and that's been something that's been inspiring me with my tattoos.
Very good. How old were you when you had the first one?
When I got my first tattoo, I was probably in my early 20s. It's a phoenix on my back right here. The phoenix is one of my favorite mythological creatures and stuff, just rising from the ashes and everything. And because of a lot of tough challenges I've had, it just resonates with me.
Very good. Next question to you is, what makes you really angry?
What makes me really angry? Probably selfishness. People just being selfish and not taking other people's feelings into consideration, or just not helping out one another. And I'm taking this last year, climate change has been really big and important to me. And that's one thing that I write about in my comic book. And people just not treating the world with respect is something that makes me angry.
Very good. I like the answer. Let's go for another one. Let's do it. Next question, Noah. Next question is, if you could be any age, which age would you choose and why?
If I could, I'm a kid by heart, so I would always want to go back to just that boy type mode where I could just keep reading and playing with action figures and comic books and just never grow up type of, maybe my teens, my 13s, my just not care about adulting, not care about, the tasks of, life now and stuff, and just have fun. Go play around with, throw a ball and stuff like that.
Very good. Another question for you. Let's do it. Okay, Noah, before the next question, so what was the big inspiration for you to start to write down your comic books?
Well, I had moved back to the Pacific Northwest from the South after some difficult times, and I was walking around the river one day, and I was by myself, and I had my sketch pad, and all of a sudden I just started sketching out this fox, and a couple days later I just started sketching out more and more characters, and before I knew it, this crazy story just started coming in my head. And I'm ADHD, and so it's been a good project for me to work on during the pandemic, especially just being sheltered in place and stuff like that. And the more and more I started doing it each day, the more passionate I got about it. And that's pretty much the gist of that.
Very good. Very good. Next question to you is, what makes you laugh? What makes you laugh out loud?
Just life in general. Just being able to laugh even about the things that get you down and stuff. I try to make the positives out of the worst situations, and laughter is something special to me.
Very good. Another question for you. Let's do it. Right. Next question for you is, what is the best gift have you ever received and from whom?
Best gift I've ever received and from whom? I think the best gift for me is friends coming over whenever I cook and just sharing meals with someone and stuff. That's the best gift for me. I'm not much of a materialistic person, so I like doing things with people. And so being able to go out on a hike with someone, or being able to just play a game with someone, to me, just sharing connections and sharing time with someone is the best gift.
Totally agree with you. I think those moments, they're so precious, aren't they? I think
Exactly.
it's like, I forget, I completely understand you. And what do you like to cook the most when your friends
What do I like to cook the most? Oh man, I like to cook everything. I'm also a chef by trade too, so I have a lot of culinary experience. But to me, so I'm going on the trip to New Orleans tomorrow, and Cajun food, Creole food is something that's really special to me, to my heart. Also some Sicilian food. I love cooking Sicilian, and anything Mexican. I grew up in California, so my first job ever was working in a Mexican restaurant. I started really young, just as a dishwasher, as one of my first jobs, and I never went to culinary school, but I started really, really young and worked my way up, and started working with some awesome executive chefs. And, I was a sous chef at one point. I was a private chef at one point. And it just got some really good training along the ways.
Very good. Good for you. Very good. I'm sure your friends they are very happy, very lucky to have you cooking for them. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it gets a struggle to pull myself away from the kitchen and also do the social time. But in the end, when everything is complete and the meal comes out, it's fun. It's great.
Good. Another question for you, Noah. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me, what's the best part of living in Portland and the most challenging part in your opinion?
What is the best part of Portland? What is the most challenging parts?
Yeah.
The best parts in Portland, I love how green it gets. It's so green here and everything. I like how weird it is too. It is one of those cities that just kind of stands out. It's unique. People are a bit strange, and that's what makes Portland kind of cool. The hardest part right now is we have been going under some difficult times over the pandemic with the riots, with the looting. It still hasn't stopped. There's more graffiti than necessary. It's not being cleaned up. It's been challenging, but I feel we are a tough city. We will unite overall in the end, and we will come together, and we will, rise above, and we'll work everything out once the vaccines roll out, once we are able to unite together again, and it's going to be a beautiful city again. I know it.
For sure, I agree. Next question for you is, what has been the lowest point of your life?
The lowest point of my life? Well, probably in 2019, I was dealing with a lot of stuff. I had just founded a 501c organization in the city. I was dealing with my first time dabbling in politics. It was stressful. I was also dealing with some mental health issues. I had just got diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. I was learning that. I had slipped into a couple of times of depression, really, really low. And it was really hard to pull myself out learning over this. But eventually, with the help of friends and my chosen family, I rose above. I learned some new skills with learning about my ADHD as an adult. And I accomplished some amazing things doing that. And I like the person I am these days. So, yeah.
Very good. And what's the most positive thing you took out of this challenge time, in your opinion? The most positive part of it?
Liking myself, loving myself, just being happy to wake up each day. I'm seeing colors differently. I am hearing music differently. Being diagnosed and seeing therapy and being on the ADHD meds, I'm drumming again. And I was explaining to a friend the other day that I hear music differently. When I heard the Beatles, I heard them for the first time. It was stuff like that. And it's like, when I drum, I'm hearing things differently than I've not heard before being on the meds. And it's just been so empowering to me, learning my ADHD as an adult.
Very good. I think there is always a positive message in the end of our tough times, I believe. All the time when you go through a tough time, sometimes you don't see the message straight away, but in a while, when you look back, you go like, okay, now I understand why I went through that, why this negativity came along, you know what I mean? So
Absolutely. I tell people that I don't think of being ADHD as having a disorder. I think of it as having a superpower. And that's how I feel these days.
Very good. Right. Are you enjoying the show so far, Noah?
Yeah, I thank you very much for having me participate and stuff. I've been really curious. How do you go about selecting people to participate in your in this project?
Yes. So basically, I've been literally inviting random people online, like literally, and I believe that the right people come to the right part of the show, to the right day as well. So there's not like a criteria or anything. I literally, as the same way I approached you, I approached all my guests. I've done already over 300 people worldwide around the planet, and all of them. I mean, I've done some friends that I knew as well, but mostly 90% of my guests on the show, I don't know. I never met them before, and I just
That's amazing.
yeah, and so, to be honest to you, Noah, I don't go through too much into the profile, like your profile, because I like to know the person during the interview. I like to ask questions. Of course, I just have a brief look, just to, a brief look, because sometimes there are so many fake profiles online. And I realize,
definitely.
Yeah. So I just literally just go through a little bit just to see something, to see if the profile is real. And this profile is real, I go like, okay, let me have a chance, and why not? And I'll tell you something now. I've been like the most amazing people in this show. I don't know if you saw some interviews, but there are so many amazing people worldwide sharing their stories, their point of views, like you are sharing your negativity or your positivity as well. So I believe, and the questions as well, I don't choose the questions, they are all mixed up here, and I believe the right question comes to the right guest, like all the questions. So it's a magic.
That's amazing. And sharing positivity is something I'm all about too. And stuff. And the fact that you're doing it on a global scale, I think that's great. And thank you again for just having me on.
The pleasure is all mine to have you around. Thanks so much. Thanks. Let's go for another one. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Next question for you is, what's the best and the worst of being yourself?
The best and the worst of myself?
Yeah, of being yourself, yeah.
The worst part of myself is that I am easily distracted, and I am sometimes that is hard on my friends and my loved ones, because I can just come off as not listening and just not always being accountable and stuff. But I don't do it intentionally. I'm just a crazy scatterbrained. On the other hand, I am good at putting people first and trying to be caring. And I'm a service boy, like I said, at heart, and I am charity focused. I am wanting to do stuff in the community, green politics and stuff like that. And yeah.
Very good, very good. Another question for you. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Next question, Noah. Let's do it. Tell me, what is your lucky number?
Lucky number? I would go with lucky number 7.
Why?
It just sounds like 7. It's just the first thing that popped in my head.
You always had a connection with number 7?
7 just sounds lucky.
Very good, very good.
But I will say, I hate numbers. I hate math. Numbers. I hate anything with numbers and everything, because that's just one of those things that goes in my head and out the other. And I'm terrible with math. I always have been since a kid.
Me too. I'm very bad with math as well. Numbers for me.
I'm good at anything creative and good at anything like that. But when it comes to numbers, terrible.
I'm the same. Welcome to the club. I'm the same. Next question. Okay, next question for you is, what is the worst advice you have given?
I am stuck on that one.
No
because I'm
problem.
sure I've given a ton of bad advice in my life, because I've made a lot of bad choices in my life. So, I'm not always. I've grown up a lot over the recent years, but in some years I've made some bad choices and stuff. I'm human. We all are, but because of that, I know for a fact I've probably been a bad example at some times. I would like to think that over the last few years, growing up and some of the work that I've done within the community and stuff like that, that I have done the opposite and that I have inspired, that have helped spread positivity and everything. But I'm sure even then, I'm sure I've, given some bad advice. I've made some mistakes and stuff.
I think all of us, we have those moments in life when we you give advice, thinking that could be a good one, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the best advice to ever give. So all of us, I think we go through some, those moments in life as well. I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Another question for you, Noah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right, before the next question, tell me what is your favorite song of the Beatles?
Favorite song? Here Comes the Sun.
With the Beatles?
Yeah.
Yeah?
From the Beatles, Here Comes the Sun.
Amazing.
Because,
amazing.
It rains too much here and I like the sun.
Okay, next question for you is, tell us about your earliest memory in life.
It's just coming back to me, but my parents' friends used to call me Taz after the Tasmanian Devil, and it was a nickname. But I don't know why I didn't get diagnosed as ADHD like sooner, but I was all over the place as a kid. Like I was so hyper, and so yeah, I got nicknamed Taz, and that was probably a really early one. Because I was so little when they were calling me Taz, and
oh, good.
Yeah.
Right.
I was a monster. I was such a monster.
Okay, Noah, I have 3 questions left for you, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, next question for you is, what was the biggest punishment have you ever received?
Biggest punishment I've received. Disappointing someone, a partner, or someone I've been in a relationship with. I think that is the worst punishment of all time. Especially silent treatment. I hate silent treatment. That is the worst. Like, don't ignore me. But yeah, definitely knowing that I have hurt someone, or because. Yeah, I don't like doing that.
That's true.
That's probably the worst.
Absolutely, you're totally right. You made me think now. You're totally right. I think when you do something wrong to someone and they don't say anything back, and you know that you did something wrong, that's the biggest punishment. You're totally
I want
right.
to fix it. And then knowing that they just want to push away, and I have to wait for their time. Oh, yeah, that's so hard for me. It's devastating.
That's for sure. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Drinking, by the way?
Say that again?
What are you drinking, by the way?
I'm drinking a cold brew with Irish cream on top.
Good one. Yeah. Right, next question is, where is the most exotic place have you ever been?
Well, I've not left the US yet. So I did spend some time in Florida, so I think that was probably the most tropical I've ever been. I lived at the beginning before this whole COVID mess started. I attempted to move to Tampa, and it was so pretty there and everything. The birds. It was such a culture shock for me in general, because everything was so different. And where I lived most of my life in the Pacific Northwest, and from the trees to the ocean, everything just looks so different. The weather in general, I fell in love with it.
Very good. Ready for the last question?
Sure, let's go.
Do it. Okay, Noah, let's do the last question. Last question for you is, what's the most beautiful thing someone have ever said to you?
Welcome home.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Welcome
That's,
home. I think that is probably the most beautiful thing, especially being I lived in several different families, and at one point, to me, chosen families over the years and stuff, and I've gone through a lot of hardships with, you know, being ADHD. There's a thing called RSD, which is rejection sensitive dysphoria. So I've either pushed people away, or I've been pushed away from several different families and stuff like that, and just being able to be accepted and from either a partner or from a new family. Welcome home.
beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, Noah, it's not the end of the game yet. Okay, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind related to this one, okay? Let's start.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with life.
Tragedy.
Okay, love.
Growth.
Money.
Drain.
Family.
Hardship.
Sex.
Great.
Politics.
Ew.
Okay, religion.
Spiritual.
Very good. Fear.
Hope.
Friendship.
Eternity.
Desire.
Gain.
Regrets.
Never.
Success.
Transpire.
Well, wish.
What? Coin.
Good. How about happiness?
Exists.
Beautiful. Okay, and if I tell you the word Portland, one word.
Wet.
And the last one now, United States of America, one word.
Rebuilding.
Amazing. Okay, Noah, let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend, okay, for a coffee. And I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Noah, and tell me something that he needs to improve on. What do you think your best friend will tell me?
Listening, slowing down, patience, not saying sorry. I say sorry way too much.
Yeah. That's funny. And just coming back to the other game before, and if I tell you the word comic books, just one word.
Grayson.
Good, very good. Okay, so now let's play now Noah and the magic box, and you can ask me a question, okay? But okay, Noah, you can ask me a question now.
Ask you a question. So, how did you? First off, the box. What does the box mean, and how did you come up with this overall, show in general? And what does the show mean to you?
Right, very good question. So I believe this project called Willy and the Magic Box is an opportunity for people around the planet to share their point of views, to share their emotions, to share their experience in life, to share their experiences in overall. And I'm sure that this program is a chance for people to connect with other people around the planet. And I guess as well, and I think that people they can connect with each other. Just watch the interview. And I had so many interviews, and I had so many experiences where people they told me, said, "Oh my God, Willy, I watched this interview and I could connect myself with this person." And I remember in the beginning, when I started doing the show, I had an interview with someone from America, was a head teacher, a principal, and he shared his personal thing that happened to him in the past. he couldn't accept himself the fact he was gay. He was punishing himself for a few years, for a lot of years, because he was accepted being gay. He was punishing himself. At one point, he understood that he accepted who he was, and he was sharing this during the interview. And can you imagine that someone in Australia, I did the interview afterwards, and this person saw the same interview and he said, "Oh my God, William, when I saw this interview with him, I could see myself there as well." And I was so happy that someone in the other part of the world went through the same situation as I'm going through right now. So I felt so happy when he told me that, because that's what's the whole thing of the show. It's just for people to connect with each other. And the big inspiration for me is just the fact that I have these moments with people over the planet, and they can just share their emotions, their happiness, or their point of views. And I think that's the whole magic of the show. It's just this genuine interaction I have with people. So yeah, that's
beautiful.
Yeah, and I think it came the right time, Noah, because I remember, I never forget that moment. It happened last year, the first lockdown, and I found myself in a very, very low place. Yeah, in a very, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I thought, I think no one in the world was ready for this situation, to be locked at home. You know what I mean? Like during this first lockdown, and I literally I was alone, and I had experience of, I was really feeling really low, really down. I didn't know like what to do. I'm a very positive person, but for the very first time in my life, I felt like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do. I felt so anxious as well. I remember calling my friends, saying, "Oh my God, I need to talk a little bit because I'm not feeling well. I'm just feeling so lonely." And one day I went for a run in the park, and this idea just came to my head, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do." And yeah, that I've been doing that since last year. I started doing shoots, and everything started from this crash. You know what I mean? Everything started very genuinely. I remember the other day I was looking at some pictures, and I remember writing the question like in papers, and I have picture of those moments when I was writing the question, I was organizing the show and everything. And here I am. I've done already over 300 people worldwide, and I'm just enjoying it. I think it's such a nice privilege to connect with people like you. My God, you have so much to tell. You are such an honest person. You are so transparent. You're not afraid to talk about your past, about your memories in life. And I think that's what we need. People that, they go through tough times, they go through, but at the end of the day, they can share that. And I think that's what people like to see. Honest people sharing their the experience in life. And I'm so grateful that our path crossed. I'm so grateful that I saw your profile and invited you, because, and you are here. And I'm so glad that you shared so much about your life, in a positive way, if you know what I mean. And yeah. I hope you had a good time.
Positive attracts positive and stuff, and so that's why I like sharing positivity. And I thank you for what you're doing too and stuff. And it really made my day that you asked for my participation. So thank you again for that stuff. And I hope we can stay connected. And this was a lot of fun. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. The pleasure is all mine. The pleasure is all mine. And just before you go, I would like you to ask if you can share a positive message, a positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
Positive thing for me is just remember, just like the Beatles, the sun's going to come out and stuff. Just remember that the birds are going to chirp again, the grass is going to grow, the flowers are going to bloom. Just always remember that when you're down and when you're low and stuff, and your friends are going to be there. We're all going to unite again, and yeah, just remember to smile. That's what I always have to tell myself. That's the best thing to do in life.
Hey, let's smile all the time. Let's smile. Right, Noah, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for being kind and sweet, and accept my invitation as well. Okay, have a great day. Enjoy.
You have a fantastic one. Thanks a lot. You have a...
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.